Good morning and happy summer. Welcome back to Saturday Somm-things with Mats. Hi, I'm Mats, and today I have a very special guest. His name is Grant Jennings, and he's the National Sales Director for Piattelli Vineyards, which include these beautiful, beautiful wines from Argentina. It's all about Argentina today. So Grant, welcome to the table.
Thank you.
And truth be told, I haven't tried these wines. This will be my first time with our public, so let's go. Tell us all about it.
Beautiful. Love it. Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate being out here today. It'll be fun to rip through a few of these wines. So, as Mott said, I'm with Piattelli Vineyards. The Piattelli family came from Italy to Argentina back in the 1930s. And we started making wine then, and we've expanded since then. And Loscano is the brand sort of dedicated to our winemaker, Valeria Antoline. So that's her face on the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
She's a farmer first and an artist second. And Juan Loscano is a pretty well-known Argentinian Patagonian artist. So he helped with the label, and that's Valeria's abstract face. She's much prettier in person.
I'll take your word for it. Another female winemaker. Who
Yep.
knew? They're just becoming so popular and great at their craft. But tell us about the first wine.
So we're starting with what we call the Queen of Argentina, the Torrentes. And this is Argentina's only native grape varietal. And I love this wine. To me, this tells a love story. It tells a story of immigration. When the Italians came to Argentina in the 1800s, they brought with them a grape called Muscatel Alexandria, right? Moscato, sweet white grape varietal. And when the Spanish came to Argentina in the 1500s, they brought their mission grape, Clara Chica, right, for communion. So bitter little red grape. Those two grapes fell in love, made a baby, and that's what we're drinking.
This beautiful white wine. It's dry.
Yes, it smells sweet. You get those muscatel aromatics.
Right.
You get very floral, almost sweet, those stone fruit notes on the nose. You think you're going to be drinking a sweet wine.
A little gardenia.
Yep. But then in the mouth, it's bone dry. Smells like a Riesling, drinks like a Sauvignon Blanc.
I like it. It's beautiful. I would definitely pair this with oysters or shrimp, ceviche, something seafood-ish, because I'm getting a lot of minerality.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting salinity. As you said, it's very floral, very fragrant, but it's still dry and crisp.
It's a beautiful wine.
It
and
is.
Your pairing suggestions are spot on, although I'll tell you the best pairing with this wine.
Okay.
And I like to go non-traditional with all of my pairings. Spicy carnitas tacos.
Oh.
This
Okay.
wine helps cut the spice a little bit.
Sure.
And it'll hold up to that pork fat.
Okay.
And it's a beautiful, so yes, of course, ceviche, fish tacos.
Right.
All those are obvious, but it works really well with carnitas. So
Okay. Wine number 2. I love the color.
now we will move into a couple of Cabernets. So we start with the Queen of Argentina, move to kind of the king of the world, right? The Cabernet. And Argentina is unique in where the grapes are grown, right? So Argentina is a giant country. The border between Argentina and Chile is built by the Andes Mountains. And about 95% of the vineyards in Argentina are within 100 miles of the Andes Mountains.
Okay.
Very similar to the Front Range here in Colorado,
Sure.
right? So we're in that rain shadow. And sort of counterintuitively, we grow our Cabernet at a little higher elevation than where we grow the Malbec. We grow this about 4,500 feet, right at the base of the Andes. And the reason for that is it extends the hang time, extends the growing period. It's important with South American Cabernet, which can oftentimes be a little bit green,
Right.
a little underripe.
Vegetal.
Exactly right. Our goal is to eliminate that. We want a more fruit-driven style Cabernet, and we achieve that by growing this at a higher elevation and letting it hang longer. So hot days, really cool nights, let this hang on the vine for sometimes 2 months longer than our Malbec
Wow.
to help get those paracines out, those green pepper notes out of the wine.
Right. Cassis, dark chocolate, cocoa, black pepper, a little black walnut. This would go well with flank steak, skirt steak, bistecca fiorentina, something like that. That's not going to overpower the wine.
Well, and this is more of a medium-bodied Cabernet. Again, a very light oak regimen on this. And so it is a cab that, again, I'll go that non-traditional pairing. Pair it with pasta.
Okay.
This will do great with a
Sure.
lasagna. This will do great with something like that where you don't have to throw. Whereas the next couple wines, you're going to have to eat red meat with them.
Okay. So on that note, let's go to wine number 3. Another beautiful Cabernet.
Yeah.
So far, I'm really impressed with Valeria.
She's
amazing. So
she
wine
is.
number 3, Cabernet.
So now we're going to move to the Grand Reserve Cabernet. And there's wine laws in Argentina. I'll admit that we play fast and loose. But Grand Reserve means something in Argentina. So
Okay.
when we're talking about this wine, which is called the Winemaker's Cab, we can kind of do whatever we want with that. Think IGT in Italy, right?
Okay, sure.
Whereas when we go to a Grand Reserve, to be labeled Grand Reserve, that requires 24 months of aging.
Okay.
So this wine has to see. Now what we age it in doesn't matter. We can age it in concrete, we can age it in stainless, we can put it in barrels,
Oh.
but you have to have 24 months from the time you harvest until the time that you release the wine. So our regimen for both of our Grand Reserve level wines are going to be a minimum 1 year in oak and a minimum 1 year in bottle. That's where we get our 2 years from. And this, we only make about 750 cases of the Grand Reserve Cab. And like I mentioned earlier with the green notes that you'll get in Cabernet, oftentimes, we make such a small amount of this that if we don't get a fully ripe year, which can happen, we won't make this wine.
Okay.
So this is only made in sort of the best years that we can produce it. We want this to be that really rich, fruit-forward style, that longer oak regimen. To me, the Winemaker's Cab has an old world flair.
Okay.
This is going to drink more like your California Cab, for lack of a better way to say it.
It's not terribly tannic, and I don't get those vegetal Carmenere green pepper notes because I don't like green peppers and I don't eat them. I don't want to drink them. But I am wearing green today because Packers are undefeated and it's preseason, so that's why I decided to wear this shirt. This is nice. It will require something heavier, like you said, lasagna or a chop, ribs.
Yes.
Something that will stand up to this beautiful Cabernet.
This is your braised short rib type. This is as the weather starts, football season starts, and the weather theoretically is going to cool down.
Yep.
Then we can start to drink the Grand Reserve Cab.
That's right. And that leaves us one last wine. Grant, these videos go so quickly and the wines taste so good, but we have to inform our public on how wonderful these are. And of course, Miss Sheila already has them on sale. So tell us about the last wine.
Last but certainly not least, we've got the Grand Reserve Malbec.
Right.
So the king of Argentina. We started with the queen. We're going to finish with the king. And this vineyard actually predates the family coming over from Italy. Okay. So most of what we produce is stuff that was planted in the 1930s or later. This vineyard was planted about 125 years ago.
Wow.
So this is all pre-phylloxera rootstock that came over from France. So sort of little known fact, the last, we'll say, real quote-unquote Malbec in the world that hasn't been grafted with American rootstock is all now found in Argentina.
Okay.
This is some of those vines. So this is 100 to 125-year-old vines. Yeah, we start this wine in a small concrete egg, moves into first turn, mostly French oak, where it sees a minimum of 1 year and then another at least 12 months in the bottle before it's released. And this is that big, rich.
Right. You can tell by the color. It's unctuous, it's decadent, it's balanced. Beautiful, beautiful black cherry, black raspberry.
You know the word Malbec, where it comes from, speaking of the color?
Go ahead.
If you have your French background, Malbec, bad beak.
Yep.
It's a French grape originally, and it would stain everyone's teeth.
Right.
So it got the name bad beak because it would give you the purple teeth.
Yeah, the inky glass
you can see it.
staining black. This is beautiful. What would you pair this with?
This is your big, fatty ribeye.
Okay.
This is Argentina does two things as good as anybody in the world: red meat and red wine. This is the one you need, that big asado, cooked over the open wood flame, big, thick, fatty piece of steak, and a bottle of Malbec. You can't go wrong.
That's true. That's true. This is just gorgeous. I wouldn't pair this with chicken or potato chips, but you need something, like Grant said, of sustenance. You need something that's going to create thunder in the glass, just like something I'm listening to now. However, these wines were beautiful. I was surprised. I was impressed. Great winemaker, great flavor. Like I said, Miss Sheila already has them on sale. So I hope everybody comes down to discover Argentina. Just, I mean, wow. What more can you say about these?
You know, I love to transport people to Argentina through the glass. I'd love for everyone to
I
come
like
and
that.
visit,
I like that.
but I think that these wines do a very beautiful job of giving you an idea of what Argentina is all about. So please come and experience. If you can't make the trip down to Buenos Aires and over to Mendoza, come down to Argonaut and you can get halfway there by drinking these wines.
Absolutely. So, Grant, thank you again very much. Cheers to
Salute.
these beautiful wines, and thank you for coming to the table.
Thank you very much for having
Okay.
me.